Yo, what is up, guys? It is Spicy Sushi. So I want to go over my starter for the Legacy of Phrecia event, as well as my strategy for day one, and also day one gearing guide for those of you who are like new to PoE1 coming from PoE2, or it's been, I don't even know, 7 months since we actually league started Settlers, and if you haven't done any of the private leagues or events, till now, if you want to just maybe get a rundown on how to get your gear early in the campaign, I'm going to go over that. I've written a short little document that could help you out. Anyway, there's 19 new ascendancies, crazy new builds, lots of cool stuff, and I am going to be playing Lightning Strike. I know you guys are rolling your eyes. Sushi started Lightning Strike like 3 times. What are you doing, man? Is this guy serious? There's no way. Okay, guys, I wanted to play Mana Forged Arrows. It looks insane. If you go look at One Mana Left's build on YouTube, all of the clunkiness that is normally with that build is gone. It looks insane. It also looks very expensive. I think Endagon is going to be like 20 divines or more on the first weekend, so I can't play that early. So I was thinking, what do I play before Mana Forged Arrows? And then this guy named Sandstorm in my chat, well, my community, he made a Whisperer Lightning Strike. And I know, why Lightning Strike? You could do anything else. The reason is it's just too strong, guys. For my league start, I want to do T17s on the first day if I can, if they exist, because I would really like to do a recombination crafting league start. If you've watched my content before, you know I like to do like ROG the first weekend. I'm pretty bored of ROG at this point, or at least for this event, because I really would like to do recombination. Now, recombination is much, much, much harder to do than ROG. The requirements are very high. You need to upgrade your town to a very high level, also recombinator to a high level. I mean, there's a lot of just gold and resources you got to spend. Each recombination also costs gold and dust, so I have to farm dust, I have to farm gold. Now, what's the best way to do this? The best way is honestly T17 maps. You get tons of gold, you get tons of alteration orbs, which are the main crafting currency for recombination, and you get tons of crafting bases. And I'm going to have a filter out tomorrow. I'm going to be making it where it's like going to be, if you want to follow this league start as well, or just like hang out and see what my filter is, I'll be making that tomorrow. It's going to show crafting bases as well as like, make sure I don't miss orbs of alteration, stuff like that. But anyway, the requirements for the strat are extremely high. This is one of the hardest things you could possibly try to do on the first weekend of a league, and as a result, you need a very strong build. I would say probably the strongest build, because if you don't play something super meta cuck, super strong, you're going to have a rough time. My requirements, I've league started T17s probably 4 or 5 times at this point. In my opinion, the best way to go into it is to have a build that does at least like 15 million DPS, ideally 20 million or higher, maybe even 30 plus million if the mods are really bad. If you want to be able to run a lot of the bad mods, like 98% life is yes. Also, there's really, really crazy idols I'm probably going to need, so I need to farm a lot of gold to buy idols from the black market or off of trade and to recombinate idols. It's a very, very hard setup, and it's probably not worth it, honestly. If I really wanted to make currency, I'd do something else like Sanctum, but this is what I have fun doing, so it's what it's going to be. And this build kind of checks all the boxes. So let's go over the POB real quick. Here it is, and this is Mana Stack LS. So why not Blind Prophet? Why are you playing Whisper? Well, one, I want to play Whisper so I can play Mana Forged Arrows later, 1 Mana Left's build. And also, I think this version of LS is a better choice for doing something like T17s, because in my opinion, for T17 maps, you really want to have good avoidance from hits. You want to have good recovery from damage over time that's on the ground. And you also want to have really, really good damage, because the mobs can be really rough. Mainly the map boss can be very rough. But I think this build overcomes a lot of those issues. As you see, we do have like 21 million DPS. That's with a lot of conditionals, by the way. You're not actually going to have 21 mil full uptime with Tincture. Tincture is insane. I mean, it's like 62% more damage. And I mean, this is basically always up on a boss until it's not, obviously. But it's up for the majority of a boss until it, it might, like, the mana burn's going to get pretty rough on an actual mana stacking build at some point. I'm going to have to turn it off at some point. But until then, Tincture is good. Obviously, if you're playing a mana build using Arcane Cloak, that is not going to be 100% uptime. But either way, it's going to have a lot of burst damage. Sigil of Power, Arcane Cloak, and Flask up. Now, the reason I want to play this build is because the gear is absolutely atrocious, and it can still be this good. Like, these numbers are really, really strong for a League starter, and it's not juiced POB or anything like that. This is very ethical gear. It's like 3 mods and a crafted mod on everything. I like this setup because I can basically make all of my gear using the black market here. Since it's just life, mana, and dexterity and res, this guy's going to be making all of that for me. And the claw is, since we're getting from Whisperer so much damage, scaling of damage already, we really don't need the claw that much besides for attack speed and crit, which is why the claw literally just has attack speed and crit. The mana adds like, I don't know, like I could remove the mana. We could literally be ethical and add a 0, basically a 1 mod with crafted mod claw on here, and we're still at 19 million with, you know, all the conditionals filled in. Obviously, we're going to have a better claw than this by the time we get to T17s. There's more options in this POB. Video will be down below, obviously. And what I do like is that, I know Mana Storm, you don't put this into a... This is troll to use Mana Storm normally. If you don't know what Mana Storm is, when you cast a spell, sacrifice all of your mana to gain added maximum lightning damage equal to 50% of the sacrificed mana. This is an absolutely insane for damage. It's also horrible to actually play with, especially in something like T17s. I know you're going to leech your mana back to full instantly, but it does not feel great, in my opinion. But what we can do is just swap to this. Once we clear the map and get to the boss, as long as the shield is not necessary for the build to work, can easily just equip the Mana Storm and just to get some crazy burst on the boss. You know, obviously this might actually not work out, but I'm going to have that in there for now. But yeah, really easy gear. The Mind of the Council is the only hard part of the build. Not necessary, obviously, but it is going to be like, yeah, like 30-something% plus more damage. It's a tier 3 unique. It's not tier 1, as some people think. It's tier 3, but it's still probably going to be like 1 divine minimum, since Profane Proxy, stuff like that is usually around 1 to 2 divines. It's probably going to be around there, honestly. But yeah. That's the only big chase item for the early setup. There's going to be more development on this POB. I'm just linking what he has here. He has a leveling POB, stuff like that. It levels his Lightning Strike. You can level his Mana Storm or Mana Forged Arrows, swap to Lightning Strike later, whatever you want to do. This is not a beginner-friendly thing, but yeah. What is beginner-friendly, though, is, you know how, like I said earlier, I'm going to craft my gear with the black market. I do have a little sheet that I'm working on right now, the little document that you can refer to if you're new or returning and trying to like de-rust a bit. And this is, you know, I started as just writing this for myself, and then I just started elaborating, since, you know, I'm going to share this with other people as well. I'll have this in my chat. What is going... Did someone actually just type in my chat when I'm not... What? Okay, anyway. Basically, black market. I have a step-by-step on how to unlock the black market early. When optimal times to go to the black market. For example, I like to farm docks. When I get to Act 3, I like to have the black market set up in Act 3 by the time I'm in Act 3. And I like to run docks like 2 or 3 times, reset it, and then use the gold to get a 4-link. If I don't have a 4-link yet, this is the time to get it. Or if I have a horrible weapon that has like actually no damage, I can also have a few rolls at weapons here. Now you get barely any gold this early, so it's not recommended to stay here for long. I would get the bare minimums. Bare minimum being like a 4-link. But yeah, this guy is way better than Alva. If you're coming from PvT, you're like, this is just Alva. It is 10 times better than Alva. Here's some examples of stuff I made before I started the recording. With, you know, just like 8 rolls on boots, I hit this. I hit this. I hit this. Obviously, it scales with your level, but also the costs are much lower depending on your level. But yeah, it's going to be really insane for gear early. So I recommend that. I have some levels to go to him. At level 43 and 63 is when I go for claws. And I think elemental type builds in general can use this guideline. For life and resistance armor, I go at level 60 for tier 3 resistances, tier 5 life, as well as tier 4 mana. Or it's better if you want to wait to 67 to 68 to get you know, higher rolls on suppress attributes in life. But this guy basically solves all of your early gear. Unless you're playing a really bad league starter that needs like 5 unique items, this should be your guy for gear. I don't really like to... In the past like 5 settler restarts I've done, if my build can't be filled out with the black market, I don't play it because this guy feels amazing for gearing, especially if you're an SSF. I do have some notes here though. And then the second thing is to unlock the shipments. Shipments are over here, very easy to unlock. If you just follow the quest line, you'll get this super early, and that is this interface right here. I have a shipment going out, but I don't have any gold. I meant to have this. I meant to show you guys this in the video, but I don't have any gold to make the shipments start. So my bad. Well, anyway, once you unlock shipments, you'll be able to send a ribbon fell, and basically 7 crimson iron bars is well-rolled armor, mixed base types, and this is how a lot of people get a 5-link early game, or 4-link body armor, just well-rolled gear in general. I keep these running non-stop day one. 3 boats running non-stop eventually until I have pretty good gear slots in every piece. And then, if you're playing if you want like a necrotic armor, like evasion or int, stuff like that, like int, evasion, and int, you can go to Pondium, and then later on to Vericium to Ribbonfell for scarabs. But yeah, anyway, I'll be elaborating on this more. I'm going to work on this sheet some more, but I'll have this linked below as well if you want to refer to that. So definitely take advantage of King's March. This is where most people are going to be getting their early gear from, and I recommend checking it out. Do not miss out on this system in the game for gearing. It is great. Especially since June is not going to be guaranteed anymore. We're not going to be getting guaranteed Syndicate. You're not going to be able to guarantee an Essence every map anymore. So this might be useful all the way to T16s even. I don't know yet. But yeah, so video, leveling, stuff like that. There you go, guys. I will see you Thursday. Bye.